What's going on, everybody? This is Ray here, out here with Mr. Frank. You can follow him on Instagram, Frank_Financial. Again, that's Frank_Financial. We're gonna tell you a little details about this property here. We got 4 units here. We'll get into details in a little bit.
This your boy Frank Financial. I wanted to share with you guys how I picked up these 4 units here and another 2 around the corner, owner finance. That means I didn't go to the bank. I didn't have to have my credit run. I didn't have to jump through all of the hoops that's normally asked of you when you go the conventional route of buying real estate. Here I went directly to the owner, so therefore I was able to negotiate the terms and the price that I wanted. When I first picked up these units, they were paying $575. The first thing I did was clean them up somewhat, and I raised the rent. I brought the rent up to $750. That's what we call forced appreciation. So you can look at a property, you do the numbers from the beginning, you make sure it's a win, and then you add on the forced appreciation.
Be surprised the work that you actually have to put in when it comes to working with these properties. Now, everybody's situation is different. Everybody plays different games in real estate. As far as buying holds like these investment properties, you do have to take care of these properties. You take care of the tenants, you take care of the properties, and they pay you. And it's just as simple as that. Now, here's what a lot of people don't see. Everybody like to see the end result. No one wants to see what goes on in between. So everybody sees the end result as, oh man, he got all the money, I want to be like that, but nobody wants to actually put in the work. So we're riding out to another property. I want to give you quick, not advice, but some news here. So I've known Frank probably for about a little over a year, I would say, maybe a year and a half, somewhere between 1 to 2 years, right? Met him through like a little networking real estate group. And I tell you, man, just from knowing Frank, man, he's definitely a hustler. He's definitely get out here. Everybody starts at different levels. Not everybody can jump into properties like Grant Cardone can, or like all these big name people can. But you start from somewhere, and I'll tell you this, you know, with what he's done is definitely a huge accomplishment and an actual milestone that a lot of people may never even hit because they either don't have the courage to, or they don't have the drive to do something like that. And it gives him enough time and freedom to spend time with his family, with his wife, and still be able to not have to stress about bills or anything like that. So as we drive to this next property, right now we're driving to a 6-plex. We just left a 4-plex, 4 units. So we will be going there, and then you'll hear some details about that soon. So we didn't look. Last time I came out to this area here, those houses was not renovated like that.
It was super neat.
So you already know what's gonna happen to the 6-plex, which was bought way before the renovations.
Yep.
Rent jumps.
Yep. Here used to be boarded up. Most of them used to be boarded up, but as you'll see, with most property, change comes, and as change comes, property values go up. You know, you get a different demographic in here. Here in this area, it's called gentrification, which is has its pros and its cons. But I bought early and I kept the asset. The number one thing I can say is keep the property. If I would have sold this just a year ago, I would have lost $100,000. Keep the asset. Refi. Figure a way out to hold on to the asset so you don't have to keep reinventing your wealth.
Do you have any thoughts or plans to sell it later? Is there an exit strategy for this property?
All right, so the exit strategy, the only way I would sell is if I'm trying to buy something bigger. It's real life monopoly. If I'm gonna upgrade, then I'll sell. If I can't pull out the money through a refi, if I must sell. If I can't do a 1031 tax exchange, then I'll sell. But other than that, my children should have this, you know, and we pull out the equity. It's still a cash cow. Let me give you the numbers on this. All right, so this is another owner finance deal. I found it on Zillow, Craigslist, one of those sites. It was $135,000. There's 6 units here, all 1 bedroom, 1 bath. The tenants were paying $425 when I purchased it. I have 2 of the remaining tenants that that was living here when I purchased it 3 years ago. I have a balloon payment that's due next year. $104,000 is what I owe next June. My monthly payment on this is $691. I have 2 units to where the original guys that were here, they're on Social Security. They don't have that much money. I let them stay there for $500 a month. I also have one person on a short-term lease, $50 a day. Then I have another woman up here, $700 a month. I'm currently renovating 2 units, and I'm either going Airbnb or I'm doing $800 to $900 a month on the rental. I'm fine with either or. Let me show you the inside. All right. So we're doing this just like the hotels. This would be the front side. I'm putting the mini fridge, the little suite mini bar over here. Hotel wall unit for the heat will be in there. This will be the entrance. We've already started getting busy here in the hallway. Sanding the stairs down, restaining those. We painted the insides, we're changing the doors out. This used to be a old door, but the youngsters out here, they pulled a kick door. This was a glass door. They kicked through this one and went through his door. Middle of the day, stole all his stuff.
Yeah.
You know? So, we turning this thing around, getting rid of the old school heat and putting in the hotel style unit.
My goodness.
Oh, yes.
Now, Frank, the last thing before we head out is what key advice or what tip could you give a lot of those investors that are either new to the game or like to learn more about real estate? What advice could you give them from the strategies that you do as an investor?
Okay, first of all, you win when you buy. Before you go into any deal, you have to make sure you win. If it's close, if it's iffy, if you're hoping, that's a recipe for disaster. I was talking with Ray earlier, every deal, and I don't say this to be cocky or not, but every deal that I have is a win, because before I purchased the property, I made sure it was a win. We're standing in front of a house right now that I purchased for $35,000. I rented out for $950. When I didn't even have to see the property. Ray, I swear to you, when I got the phone call, the man told me it's a 3-bedroom brick home and it's already being rented out for $625, and he said he wanted $35,000 for it. The numbers right there already tell me I'm winning. The fact that I paid $35,000 for it and it's worth $135,000, well, that's just bonus. I would have been fine without that. I would be fine with paying $35,000 and making $625 a month, but I rent it out for $950, and it's because of, you know, what came along with the neighborhood, and that's why you hold on to the asset, like I said earlier. If I wouldn't have held on, I could have sold this property for $50,000 and went with the $15,000 and thought I was doing something. I could have felt like a flipper, you know, where you buy a house for $35,000 and then you sell it for $75,000. True, you make $35,000, but you have taxes, and then you no longer have the asset. I can refinance this, pull out that same $70,000 and go buy more properties. I could take out $70,000 and go put $10,000 down on 7 properties. That's bringing in $700. You know, that's how I would say easy it is. That's how simple it is when you break it down. Now you just have to realize to stay calm. Don't get excited and think there's a scarcity of properties, because there is no scarcity. It's when you think it's scarcity, that's when you start jumping on the nonsense, when you realize you don't need all the properties. I've been investing for 3 years and I have about 17 units, and that's only across, I think, about 7 units. I would have to count them up. But I don't have to buy everything. I don't have to flip everything. I can pick up 2 or 3 units. And when I say units, let's say 2 or 3 properties. It may be a duplex, it may be a 3-plex, 4-plex, but I can do that every year, and you game that out 10, 20 years, and I'm a very rich man. Right now, I'm rich because I have my time, you know, just with the amount of properties we have now, as well, 5 figures a month. But I could be doing better, you know, but I don't have to sacrifice my time. I'm out here hanging out with Ray, sharing this message with you guys, having a good time, you know, and checking out the neighborhood, seeing if saying we should buy some more.
Well, Frank, I appreciate you again, guys. Follow him on Instagram, Frank_Financial. Watch everything he's doing in real estate. Watch everything he's doing with credit and building a future for his kids and his family. Ray Woods, I'll talk to y'all later.
Thank you,
They
man.
never did, no, they never will. Finally, I'm in the field. See a meal, cry tears from my old field.